Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wind Down Wednesdays with your girl, Joshia. And today, I am so excited to say we have finally launched the Level Up Planner and Journal. Guess what? I put my time, effort, and energy into this, and I brought one just for you guys to see. So, a lot of persons asked me over the past year, how did I manage to keep my life organized during the pandemic? I have literally placed every strategy that I did for my life to get to this point to be Miss Wind Down Wednesdays inside of this planner. So in the planner, it's gonna actually have a schedule, and as well, you also have like tasks that you have to complete. So if you want to take a look at it, it is available on the website. You can just simply click my Instagram link and it'll basically show you everything that's inside of the planner. So one of the parts of the planner that I am extremely excited about is the one that gives you tasks, and it tells you also how you can exercise more efficiently. It also tells you something that you can track for how many books you read and all of that good stuff. Now, also, I am a person that is very big on writing down goals. So one of the things that have kept me focused is writing down everything that I want to do. So I give you all a notebook, and in the notebook, it is just full of like blank pages, but on the inside, you can write down everything, and it's also easily accessible. You can just drop it in your bag. So I travel with one of these myself where I write down all of my notes. So with that being said, I hope you guys are excited for this week's episode. And guess what I am talking about? Friends. Yes. Now, most of the times, a lot of us have challenges in regards to how we pick friends, who are the right people that should be around us, and basically how can we be a good friend to somebody as well. Now, I don't want to say that I'm an expert, but I have some insight on friendships based on my personal experiences at the age of 24. So I'm going to teach you the different types of friendships in this episode, how to find the characteristics for these type of friends, and what is the best friendship for you. Now, as young females, one of the things that we always have to do is have the right people around us. You need a strong team. You are not an island by yourself. We live on an island, that's fine, but you are not an island by yourself. So you're going to need a strong team, and you're going to need a team that's always going to motivate you. You're going to need a team for basically everything in life. At first, when from a personal experience, this is a story time. I have a juicy story time for y'all though. So one of the things that I tried to do was become an island, basically by myself. After being burned by not picking the right friends, which is solely my responsibility, I can't blame anybody for what they did to me. I only can blame myself, right? I can't control somebody else's actions. So when I noticed that I was burnt, I was coming from a place of hurt, I tried to be by myself. That is not a good thing. You need people to talk to. You need friends. I don't know if you guys remember that episode of SpongeBob when he just absolutely cut off everybody, and he was talking to the chip, the potato chip, the penny, and the tissue, right? And I was almost to that type of sanity, like not even sanity, I was almost to that insanity. But I have two very good friends that decided to pull me out of that shell and said, nah. So I had a Sandy and a Patrick in my life, and guess what, you guys would meet them soon. But with that being said, you need the right people around you. And in my book 23 going on 2020, I decided to give you guys a whole chapter on the right friendships. Now guess what, I'm not really a big social media person, right? But let me not say social media, Facebook, right? Facebook, I browse through, and that's it. Most of the times, every time I go on Facebook, it's some type of drama. Some type of drama. It's always some drama about he say, she say, you say, I say, what the cow say, jump over the moon to get the spoon. Whatever goes on, right? And most of the times, these are results of persons that are basically went against the loyalty code in friendships. Now, I understand there are some times that we pick friends and we don't expect them to do things to us. But I can tell you something. There are certain characteristics that certain friends cannot hide. It is up to you to have discernment. So, let's get straight into it. You're going to need wine for this, because I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I had a lot of bad friends around me. And then most of the time, your parents is always pick out who is not a good friend. They always do. So, if you have had an opportunity to actually get a copy of my book, which you should, it's like 100 pages, very straightforward. I teach you about money, I teach you about finances, I teach you about friendships, I teach you about relationships, and it's a very short read. So go and get it. It's available on Amazon. Now, one of the things that I actually want to touch bases on when it comes to actually friends, right? I want to find out what is the definition of a friend. So I went and I looked up, according to Webster Dictionary, a friend is one that is attached to another by affection or esteem or like interest. One that is not hostile, a favorite companion. A lot of times we confuse having a favorite companion as somebody that can be our friend. No. Because some persons have personal objectives on why they want to be your friend. So you need to find out exactly why is somebody enjoying my company and my time. If somebody isn't genuinely your friend just for you, run. Run. Because if you don't run, you're gonna jump in that grave that they dig for you. I can tell you that. Run. So there are basically 3 types of friendships in this world, according to basically a bunch of research I did and biology. There are 3 types of relationships inside of this world. And one of the first ones I'm going to touch bases on, I'm going to save the juiciest one for last. The one that I'm going to touch bases on is the commensalism friendship. A lot of us are in those type of friendships. And when I say we're in those type of friendships, those are the friendships that benefit us nothing. We just there. We just chilling. We okay. Those type of friendships are usually the ones that keep you stagnant. It's not the friend that is pretending to be your friend that keeps you stagnant. It's those same people that you have around you that are actually, they just don't have no goals. You have no goals, I have no goals, so we can just have no goals together. And when you are in those, sometimes we actually have relationships like that as well. It isn't just friendships, where one friend is a plethora of good attributes, and then you have persons around them and they offer nothing. In those types of friendships, the friend that offers the most is going to become drained. I'm going to tell you that. And a lot of times we keep friends around us for history. We don't keep friends around us because of what they give us. We keep them around for history, and we confuse history with loyalty. No, that is not the case. When you are in a friendship where you basically a commensalism friendship, I'm going to read something that I said exactly inside of my book, coming from the excerpt of 23 going on 2020. We must learn that many people can admire us, but not everybody will love us. Many people love the thought of us, but can't take care of us. Which brings us to the final and the most significant of them all, which is the commensalism friendship. Commensalism friendships are all throughout society. We see it all the time. We always notice the alpha in the group, and then we notice the ones that are basically, we call the minions. I can tell you something. The minions are going to suck off at the alpha, and then it's gonna shift the level of respect in the friendship. Everybody should be on the same level. So therefore, in those commensalism friendships, if one friend is achieving something, it should motivate everybody else to achieve on the same level. That doesn't always happen. So most of the times we find ourselves inside of these situations where we feel drained. We be like, I can't go to nobody for advice. I can tell you something, I can go to any of my friends for advice. I can go to any of them for advice, vice versa. We all supposed to have a different perspective on life, but we all supposed to be able to have one common goal in all of our lives, and that's to succeed. Remember, people can admire us, but they cannot take care of us. When you have friends, they should be able to take care of you. So if you are in one of those relationships, I want you to ask yourself, and these are the characteristics to let you know if you're in a relationship. Are you the one they always run to for advice? Are you always feeling drained and tired? Do you decide to take care of your problems by yourself and don't want to share it with others? I am going to tell you, you are suffering from the side effects of being in a commensalism relationship, and you need to run. Simple as that. I'm just saying it. Now, on to friendship number 2. This is the most healthiest one, and it's mutualism. Mutualism is the most healthiest is because we all benefit. Y'all ain't in no relationships or friendships, I can tell you that. Based on how much people done say, why you with my man, how you talk to them, why you talk behind my back, why you do this and why you do that and all of those other stuff. Most of y'all are not in those in friendships that are mutual. Mutual is that what you give me, I can give you. So and this is how I determine my friends. I can tell you this. If they get the same level of attributes and my personality and my qualities and they thrive and I can do the same thing with them, then that's the friendship that I need to have around me. We're supposed to be able to bounce ideas off each other. We're supposed to be able to have sensible conversations. And most of the times, you know why we don't like mutual friendships is because there's something fault in us. And most of the times, human beings in general, they like to always be somebody in a group of persons, to be the one upon somebody. That's why a lot of us avoid mutual friendships, because we want the satisfaction to say, guess what? I am the head. I'm the best out of all. That shouldn't be like that. I can tell you something, and a rich man said this. Many rich people on YouTube, but I can't quote who the rich man is. A rich man said this. He said one of the most important things you can do in your life is have the right people around you and the same like-minded. Because I can tell you something. It does not feel good to be the only person in the room with all the answers. You're going to get demotivated, and guess what? You're not going to grow. And most of the times persons feel as if that if I'm in a friendship and I'm the smarter one or the other, whether it be business-wise, relationship-wise, etc., most of the times we feel like that's a good feeling. No, that's your ego talking. You're not supposed to feel as if that I am more superior than my friend. That's never supposed to be like that. And most of the times, that's why we avoid like-minded people. And when we avoid those people, it's because you have ego issues and you have jealousy issues. Because you're supposed to be able to cheer on your friend for every race that they win. And then when at the end of the day, when we reach that level where we are all at the finish line, we look at each other and we say, hey, it's time to race again. But you need to be able to have a race with persons that when I get tired, they be like, come on now. I'm not going to leave you. Let's go. You only can get that type of motivation. You only can get that type of characteristics in a mutual friendship. And most of the times, y'all with people that ain't really mutual with y'all. Now, some time ago, right, I remembered that, you know, a group of persons went to this dinner, right? And there was always this one person inside of the group. They would always make sure that they don't spend their money, but they're going to be around people that spend their money. Many of you are around people like that. I can tell you that. You always feel sorry for them, or you feel like I have a duty to you because you are my friend. No, they're sucking off you. They're sucking off of you. I can tell you that. That is why it is important to be around mutual people, because I can tell you something. Me and my friends, we fight to pay the bill. Me and my friends, we be like, no man, that's okay. That's little things. Me and my friends, we don't count the favors we do for each other, because we got it like that and we strong like that. Many of y'all don't have friends like that around y'all. You either the strongest one or you is the sucker. Which brings me down to the third type of friendship, what everybody has experienced before in their life, and that is the parasitic friendship. You know what? Like Lifetime say, I'm ready to tell my story. Let me tell you about parasitic relationships and friendships, because many of us are, most of the times, the type of friends you have is the type of relationship that you attract. And if y'all ain't ready for that conversation, then you guys in denial. So guess what? This is why a parasitic friendship, and I left this for last, is because many of us experience these type of friendships when we have already got burnt. So basically, we run into these people that have no type of interest or love for us. It's just about benefit, and it's just about what I can get from you. And a lot of times we feel as if that a person isn't a parasite because they ain't trying to get money from you. No. You have people them that want your friends. You have people that would want your ideas. You have people that would just want your personality. You have people who want your aura. You have people who want your job. You have people that who want your husband. You have people who want your boyfriend. Most of y'all are in these parasitic friendships. And if you have a parasite, I don't care how much years you have been with that parasite, run. Because when let me tell you the characteristics of a parasite. A parasite will suck you dry and get fat, and go on with their business like they ain't just kill you. That's how parasites operate. And that's something when I'm telling you from a human perspective, I'm telling you from ecology, ecosystems, and a biology perspective. In a parasitic friendship, nobody benefits. Because at the end of the day, that same parasite is going to they're going to meet their match. Don't get me wrong. But you would be the one that's going to be the most affected because you are the one that is left to put the pieces of your life back together when you run into a parasite. I could tell you that as a fact. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. I could tell you that. Now, from the book, let's go back and quote the book. A parasite can never help you. No matter how good of a host you are, no matter how much gems of knowledge you have, no matter how much you give without asking in return, the parasite cannot help you. The dangers of parasitic relationships are we never see it coming. Why? Because we learn about this connection when we have already been smitten by the parasite, or we have entered a downward spiral and can't seem to find the attributes within ourselves to get out because the parasite has sucked all the nutrients from you. I know that sounds familiar. Most of the time, you know, we tell ourselves, I never see it coming. No, you saw it coming. You just was in denial. But let's continue. Let's continue. For example, the tick is a parasite. It sucks all the nutrients from its host. The host is you. If you want, we're going to say, use the host. And then you have the tick, which is the friend. Okay? During this feeding, parasites like the tick make the host sick. Okay? They don't just suck your blood. They make you sick in the process. Likewise, with parasitic unions with persons is either draining you or waiting on an opportunity to strike. Okay? These type of relationships is one that is not a friend or a neutral interaction. It's damn well a foe. Let me tell you about how I run up on many parasites. So there was some time ago, it wasn't very long time ago, but it's some time ago when Christopher Columbus discovered, the islands and, San Salvador in 1942, whatever, right? So it was some time ago, and I had this friend that I genuinely loved. I cared for this friend. This particular friend, I would have given the clothes off my back to this friend. I never saw this friend in a light as somebody that would wait till I was down to strike me. And guess what? This person didn't even wait to strike me when I was down. This person was building up a whole defense to strike me when I was at the prime of my career, basically. And a lot of times, like I tell you, persons say you can't see the signs. There's always signs. I can tell you that. And when I sat down and I evaluated everything and how our relationship came to a demise, I realized there was red flags. I just decided to ignore it. And with this particular friend, I never understood what it was that made her say, I'm going to attack her. And as I sit down and I realized that a lot of times persons, like I said, are not after money. They are just after how people deal with you, how people love you. And this was a friend that if I would have gotten promoted in my career, I would make sure her name was in the rooms where I was getting the promotion. And I didn't know that even by me helping her like that, she was after my title first. And that person, they did something that I felt was no return. And my thing is, once you disrespect me, that's it. Ain't no second chances. Because there are different levels to this thing. Disrespect, it leads to some repercussions that sometimes people lost their lives. And one thing I can tell you, I wasn't going to allow that disrespect to hit me again, because when she would have struck, it might have taken me out. Now, one of the things that I can tell you about parasitic friends, you will always notice that they are the ones that always hear the bad somebody saying about you. And then I remembered something. Nobody ever talked ill of her around me, but every single time there was something negative about me being said, she was the one that was able to tell me X, Y, and Z. Why? If you are my friend, nobody should ever feel comfortable talking bad to me around you. That was one sign that I missed. Another sign that I missed, and I noticed this a few days ago, I looked at all the birthday cards that I got. This person never signed it. And I remember when it was her birthday, I would go far and beyond. I would give her money. I would buy her cake. I won't go to dinner. I hyping her up. I'm so happy this is my friend. Because keep in mind, I love her. I love her. And I never got that same energy back from her. And the final disrespect was when I was in a toxic relationship. She sat down amongst people and she laughed about my dilemma. And you know what I said to myself? In her mind, that was checkmate. Now, and in her mind, it was all about image, Now you are not in that image what people see you. And that parasitic union, that almost took me out. That put me inside a deep depression. Because not only did I have to deal with whatever word she put out there about me, I had to deal with losing somebody that I felt was like close to me. And when the friendship ended, you know what she did? She went on and she said, I was in the wrong. She called me a snake. She called me everything in the book. And I never explained my side of the story because I already knew what happened. Most of the times we are around people like that. We don't see when the parasite come, We see it when it's time to remove the bite, the tick from you, and then you realize that I'm weak and I'm drained. I'm telling you this from experience. A parasite can never be your friend. No matter how much you tell that parasite about what you do, about what they did, no matter how much you help that parasite, because a parasite sucks on somebody for food. They feed you. A parasite want to be fed some way. You could feed that parasite till it bursts. That parasite can do nothing for you. Run from a parasitic friend. Run. I can't say it enough. Run. Because only you can be left to deal with picking up the pieces of your life because that friend ain't even going to be there to help you put it back together. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and guess what? I have a surprise for you guys on the next episode. And I really hope that you all listened, and I really hope that you took some gems from this episode. And also, don't forget to listen to the Level Up with Joshia podcast. If you miss me so much and you can't get enough of me, tune into the Level Up with Joshia podcast, which is available on all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Cast. Can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. Be blessed and continue to level up.